Hello, welcome to September in Scotland, and it's been a kind of misty day and kind of rain, mizzly rain in the air, feeling still kind of warm from the summer. So you get the worst of both in a sense. You're warm and you've got rain falling upon you. But I went forth into the weather to get some books moved out of the house and to have a little look and see if there are any more that could be brought in. And especially, of course, with an eye to this month's theme of the art readathon, framed in September. I wonder how you're getting on with it. I hope it's going well for you. Do let us know. I'm one of the co-hosts, and I hope it's going to be a really good month for you and your reading and your art and creative side as well. So what I did today was I actually moved about 20 books out from the house, got them into charity shops, discovering in the process that quite a few charity shops now have so much material being donated that you're meant to ring ahead and ask, please may you bring some in, and do they have space for it? So that was quite a surprise to me. I'm kind of expecting normally there would be open arms and, oh, that's great, thank you. And this was in the Morningside area of Edinburgh, which is really a very nice part of the city. And so charity shops tend to be very interesting and have an eclectic mix of things. And it seems at the moment they cannot give away china. There's china sets galore, entire sets that you can buy, and they seem to just be no shortage ever of that, by the way. If anybody wants to become an interior stylist and to set up tables for a dining room repast or big feast, it's quite odd. You walk into the shop and they're just all there. So I gave away, but I also received. And I also took my camera to just look around the shelves, have a good gulp, have a good look. And I want to say there were 2 charity shops that I went to today which are spectacularly good for books. St Columba's Hospice charity shop. It's bright and colourful outside, it's colourful inside, a few steps up to the books, and it's always got a little bit of a homey feel to it, separate from the rest of the store. And today it was even better than normal. Someone has taken some bunting in and made it look like there was going to be like a children's puppet stand, Punch and Judy show kind of thing. And plus there was a piano, as you do, and there was also, thankfully, an armchair you could sit in. Now this is where so many bookshops go wrong. You really need to have an armchair to put books around you, look at them and then decide which ones you're going to have. And if you don't have that and you're starting to get tired, what you end up doing is just putting all the books on a table and walking away and thinking, I can't cope with deciding. So libraries and anywhere selling books, a good chair is worth it. And I just found that really handy for the books that I chose. So I had a good look along the art shelves as well. Not a lot, surprisingly little to do with crafts as well, but very well stocked. You could have books about the Second World War and history and so forth. And I got the And Now on Radio 4, which is, I do like a bit of listening to Radio 4, and the drama and the comedy on it and possibly writing jokes for them interests me and always has. And then, small book on a small subject, A Little History of the World by E.F. Gombrich. I got this on the strength of his book on art history, which has been fabulous. And I have held off finishing that book because I couldn't bear to stop reading his prose. It's so beautiful and it just opens your mind, and it's excellent. So I can move on to this at some point, but I might try and keep it till after September. And so I'm really looking forward to that. But the big find for me, and I even took a picture of me putting my hand out for it in the art books, was Cocteau, Jean Cocteau, a biography. And he's interesting to me because my theme for art in September, framed in September, is really the Ballet Russe, which is Russian ballets as it translates, which were run by Diaghilev and with which Cocteau is associated. Because at one point he was having a stroll along the boulevards in Paris, and he was having a chat with Diaghilev, the impresario in charge, and he just turned to Cocteau and said, "Astonish me." And so Cocteau went away and wrote one of the most astonishing ballets. And but Cocteau fascinates me because I'm particularly interested in where the arts are more than one, interrelating, crossing over. And he did a bit of everything. He also did a fantastic original film for the La Belle et la Bête, the Beauty and the Beast, done in black and white, which is incredibly imaginative. And he took part in so many arts. In fact, the Ballet Russe are known for that, involving people. So they would have people like Picasso or Matisse doing the scenery, for example, and Picasso did some costumes as well. In fact, his wife was a ballerina with the dancing company. So there's just, plus the music, they had Stravinsky, they had all the new happening and strange 20th century music that was there. It was challenging. More of that I know. But Cocteau is astonishing because he seemed to do absolutely everything. I opened the start of the book and it talks about it. He was a portraitist. He designed posters, pottery, tapestries, mosaics, neckties, costume jewellery and objects executed in glass, pipe, cleaners and other media. He was also involved in film as well, as I've said, and he was a poet. And what he said about all these different arts activities, he says, "I have been accused of jumping from branch to branch. Well, I have, but always in the same tree." He was referring to the tree of poetry. And so that's what he kept saying, "I am a poet, I am a poet." He was the most self-proclaimed of poets to the extent that he rigorously classified all his great variety of work, his poems, novels, plays, essays, drawings and films under the headings of poésie, poésie de roman, poésie de théâtre, poésie critique, poésie graphique and poésie cinématographique. Even his sculpture he dubbed poésie plastique. So he's applying poetry to all these different arts. I'm looking forward to reading what he's done and what the other artists have done. And to that end, I have borrowed a few books from the library to read. They are big, colourful, very, very heavy. And they're actually propping up my camera at the moment. So if I take them up to show you, you're not going to see me. But that's okay. Let's see, what have we got? A Feast of Wonders, Sergei Diaghilev and the Ballet Russe. And The Visual Art of Jean Cocteau. And then the third book is Picasso's Parade. And Parade was the name of a ballet that he did the costumes and the scenery for. And later it was revived, and it was done by David Hockney. For some reason his name is a little jump in my brain I have to make. It doesn't come strictly to mind. But visually this is going to be stunning, looking at all the different art forms that are involved in the ballet. There's the music, of course. You've got the story of the ballet. You've got the costumes. You've got the backdrop. You've got the movement, the choreography, the sense of performance, how it's carried across, the internationalism, the wildly different cultures that are involved in it all, and all those different arts people at the top of their game, putting things together that are happening in a performance just live before your eyes. All those arts are startling you, and Diaghilev liked to startle people because he found that was very good for box office, very good to make publicity instantaneously. Was if you had a little riot, well, that was a good thing. And he would stand there placidly looking quite pleased while everybody else was going, this is terrible new music, this is he would be laughing all the way to the bank, as it is. It actually didn't make much money, the ballets, and they were underwritten by lots of people that he would get credit from, and his sponsors and funders, which included Chanel, the couturier. So again, you've more famous names in the mix. It's all rather amazing. So I hope to be startling you with little broadcasts in the front line of the Ballet Russe for the rest of the month. That's what I have in store, and I hope will happen. And now I'm going to dive into my book about Cocteau, because something I find with non-fiction is if you start it and then leave it to one side, it's easy to let it kind of slide. Whereas if you've got a fiction story, you've got the narrative where you're going, oh, what happens next and what are they going to say? But a non-fiction set aside can become something that just sits and gathers dust. And Cocteau is far too fascinating to have that happen with him. So I hope this inspires you to be looking for new books, new things, and whatever you've decided to concentrate on in September. And if you're taking part in Free in September, happy reading. Bye for now.